Morning, guys. We are headed south today to grab a tractor. Before we talk about that, I'm headed to Half Century of Progress in August, the end of August, whenever the heck that is. I'll have one of my 1206s there, bringing my kids and wife along, and we're gonna have a good time. But while I was thinking about it, I thought I'd mention that I'd be more than happy to throw any sort of parts or anything you guys would need to buy off of salvage tractors or whatever, to go to Half Century of Progress if you want to pick them up there. I've got multiple motors that are runners, all sorts of stuff, international related, predominantly sheet metal, 3-points, PTOs, all sorts of things like that. So if you're in need of something like that and you don't want to pay shipping costs, but are going to be a Half Century of Progress, we can maybe figure something out there. But I've got everything from 06 up to 86 series tractors. I think I might have one like 60 series or two that I'm going to part out. But if you're needing something, shoot me an email or get a hold of me through one of the social medias, and we can go that way and figure it out. But on today's subject, we're headed down to Milberger, Kansas, which I think is an unincorporated community. But either way, that's where we're headed today. We're actually headed to Radke Implement, which is a Case IH and Kubota dealer, formerly Massey Ferguson. But I think they took this tractor in on trade from a guy. I don't know what he got otherwise, but we're going to pick it up and get back home. I was told the tractor runs, but they were pull starting it, which is weird given what it is. And well, maybe they just didn't know how to start it either. You just don't know. But when we get there, we'll walk around it, pay for the tractor, and load it, go home. Hopefully it'll start and drive on. If not, well, I got a winch. But it'd sure be a lot nicer if it just drove on the trailer. Well, here's what we got. 826 Farmall, International Farmall. German diesel, obviously, 826. A little greasy, not too bad. That actually, it looks like the same sort of leak I'm dealing with on a different 826 that I'm working on for a guy currently. One really odd thing, that's a diff lock. You don't run into that a lot in my area. I've had a 766 with one before, but a diff lock, that's pretty cool. Cool to have. Maybe the steering wheel was leaking, or the hand pump on the steering was leaking a little too, or just tied his bandana there. I don't know. One remote. No fenders, as you can see. I'm not sure this tractor has ever had fenders, or if it did, it was a long time ago with the light setup that's on here. Kind of interesting. Got extensions here though. I mean, it really doesn't show signs of fenders. Loader bracket. Looks like maybe it's been painted once just by the brush strokes on the hood. Hours is 95.23, which is curious. Injector pump is obviously dripping. 8845 is the serial number. The cute little Craftsman toolbox here. Wonder what's in it. Just some random hardware, it looks like. Nothing too great there. Alternator looks newer. Newer filters on it there, which is curious. Yeah, bar grill. It's got 6 75-pound weights, or one of those might be, they're not IH stamped. Got welding on the steering arms, normal things. Front tires look pretty good. They're 16.934 tires on the back, which is a little peculiar. You don't run into that a ton, really. Yeah, we'll get home here and do some more investigation. We just winched this thing on, and they helped kind of shove it around and square it up with the skid steer. Harlan and Marty did. They're at Radke Implement. So, yeah, interesting tractor. 4 weights on the back end, which kind of screams loader tractor, but then with the weights and bracket on the front, it doesn't scream loader tractor. So, I don't know. No TA. It's an interestingly ordered tractor, to say the least. I don't quite know, but it's got the fender brackets there, TA, or no, diff lock. Weird rig. We'll get home and talk more about this. Well, 826 made it home. That's Friday's video, in case anyone was curious about it. Look forward to that, guys. But I got 3 out of the 4 chains off. I gotta roll the tractor back or something a little bit to get that last chain off. We'll figure it out. But the more I thought about this tractor as I was driving, the more I realized this thing's pretty damn peculiar. Harlan said they took this in on trade from a guy from West Texas, actually, for like a Farmall 105, which is interesting. It's a factory non-TA tractor, factory no fender tractor. So it's really bare bones options, which is really odd. But I mean, 826 was basically a cheaper 856, just like an 856 custom. That was in 1969 and 70. They came out with these 826s, or late 69 maybe. It's too early of a serial number in 1970 to be a gold demo, I believe, but we can still pull that cover there and see if it's gold behind, but I don't think it's going to be, especially because it doesn't have the black dash around there. But this thing probably did a lot of row cropping of cotton in West Texas, which explains the bare bones nature of it. It probably did a lot of 3-point work on toolbars and whatnot, cultivating, ditching, you know, sand fighter, stuff like that, which very much explains the bare bones nature of it. I mean, it had 3-point up down was probably all it really needed, and 1 remote occasionally was probably all it needed. And then the TA was kind of like old school, or not TA, the diff lock. It has a TA delete. Having a diff lock is kind of like old school auto steer, because you would just go straight in between the ridges on ridged flood irrigated cotton, I believe is. And somebody else can tell me I'm wrong here, but that's kind of my thoughts. It's also got the lights are on each side of the fuel tank, which again leads me to believe factory no fender or fender delete tractor. And then it's got the cute little light bracket here for the flasher. It's really cool to see that intact still. Have never actually seen one. Obviously needs a new flasher and maybe some wiring, but it's there. I'm gonna guess the seat suspension is shot. No big deal. 3-point. Did come with 3rd link, which is great. 1 remote here. Only has 1 lever. Glad it's not a fast hitch tractor. Great success. Fast hitch tractor get old. Yeah, but I think we'll throw a battery in this thing here in a second, air up the tires a little bit too. There's plenty of weight on it. It's got 4 cast weights on each rear wheel and 75-pound weights on the front. Also notice, I think it's been painted with a brush once in its life, which is unfortunate, but that's okay, I guess. Whatever it is, it is. But yeah, the old oil filter is pretty old there because it says Case Corporation on it. What the hell. But I think first we're going to pull that cover off and see if it's gold behind it. I don't think it is, and then I'm going to rig up this to run off 1 single 12-volt battery, and we'll see if we can get it fired up today and down off the trailer. Then we can walk around it running and see what else it has wrong with it. All right, I got it loose. Here we go. Nope, it's red. It's just a red tractor. There's no signs of gold here, which is fine, but you got to check. I didn't figure it was a gold demo tractor at all, but you just don't ever know. And it doesn't hurt to look. Usually it was like serial number 11,000 and later, and where this is like 8,800. I didn't have a lot of hope. There's your engine block number, 358 DT. So there you go. Might not read oil pressure, I would think, but yeah, let's get some of these batteries undone here, and I'll bring you guys back before we start it. All right, got a battery rigged up on there. I did tap the starter to make sure it does turn. So we'll crawl up here in the seat. Park brakes down. On these German diesels, you pull out the kill to about 7/8 ish, and this one really isn't feeling that amazing, but there's a sweet spot on these German where it takes them to full fuel or full fuel advance. Somebody that knows more probably tell me I'm wrong there. Oh, there we go. It's got the spinner knob. Big success. But that takes it to full fuel, which helps these Germans start. Not see anything yet. Okay. Let's they said it did not start well. I'm beginning to wonder if that's because it's losing fuel prime. Because yeah, there's some drippage going on. But let's pull the cover off the air cleaner and just give her a snort, help her along, right? I mean, it's like 85 degrees today, so it should be starting, but who knows? It didn't sound low on compression or anything like that. Air filter looks old. Yeah, 1995. Snorty, snorty. Definitely acting like a tractor that's losing fuel prime. My dad's 706 German used to do this too. All right, let's get down off the trailer here. Shifting a little hard, probably needs greased on the rein side. Motor sounds good, doesn't sound like a mist, it's not knocking. I mean, it smokes kind of like every German does. They always haze a little. Not too bad. Fuel gauge might decide to work. I really think the injector pump's just losing prime. Weird.
Well, there you have it. She's down off the trailer, sitting here idling. Sounds good. The hydraulic pump is a little loud. There's like a little bit of a tapping noise here. Just a little loud in this area. Maybe it's the starter dragging a little. I don't know. But fired up okay. I mean, I really just think it's bleeding fuel off, which happens. Straight tractor, I mean, really straight. Greasy, grimy a little, but I've seen a lot worse. I'm working on an 826 right now for a friend that's a lot worse. Definitely been painted with a brush sometime in his life. Got 6 weights on the front, that's kind of nice. Those are welded up, that sucks, but not uncommon, right? 16934 rubber is really interesting. It had basically as basic as you could get this thing, more or less, except a TA is what I'm seeing here, or except a diff lock. No TA, has a 3-point. That's, I guess that was probably an option. Does the PTO work? Yes. Cool. Cute little bracket thing going on there. I don't know what these were for. Maybe some sort of implement that was on the back. I'd say it's been spread out wide most of its life. That's about 2 inches, so it might have been on 36 and somebody slid it out to 38 to do hay or something like that. 3-point's a little loose in the balls, like it did 3-point work. Seats, meh. Whatever the funny noise is in this area, it's not in the middle. It's not even really that loud or bad. Where the lights work. That one works. So does that one. Heck, that's pretty good. Let me bypass the clutch safety. I don't really want to step down. I've seen these freeze up before. They need lubricated. So, but a cool tractor nonetheless. Hour meter seems to be working out there. So this is probably 9,500 some odd hours. Probably check coolant here. It's full. Does not have an IH muffler, so that's kind of sad. Newer fuel filters, but the oil filter's old, air filter's old, so it needs a service, obviously. Size front tires, 9.5 L15s, but the cheap tire option, basically. I didn't check this toolbox here. Just some junk. But really, nice, solid, usable tractor. And I guess if a guy wanted to, he could put fenders on it. I mean, there's no rules against that, I suppose. But it's cool to have one that's factory no fenders. I have to text a buddy or two about this guy. They might think it's cool too. I don't know. This is probably for sale. I don't have a ton of money in it. Seems to run okay. You put fenders on it and you use it right. Got the sliding drawbar, which is nice. Just doesn't, this light here isn't working. I wonder if I turn. Nope, nothing there yet. Still no rear light. We're just gonna assume the rear light doesn't work. But I guess, guys, that's pretty much it on this one. Not a lot that needs to be done to it. Might call my pump guy across the state line and see what it would cost to have that resealed. I don't know where we're dripping from here. Cool tractor. cool options. Weird to see in Northwest Kansas, but somebody hauled it up here. But that's it, guys. Gonna be it on this tractor. Guess if you're interested in it, get a hold of me. It's pretty cool little tractor. Don't run. 826s usually sell fast. There's not a ton of them to be had. And guys that have them, don't let them go. But that's gonna be it here. You guys have a good one. If you want to see some memorabilia and toys that for sale, that's territorialtrading.com, or you can actually get a hold of me there. My email is there. All my socials are at TMontyIH. But with that, guys, you have a good one. Go drag something out of the weeds just like this and get it running.